See what's going on right now with the NBA, the MLB, the NHL. You got these celebrity, you got celebrity athlete activists like LeBron James saying that it's a scary, dangerous place to live in America as a black person, and now they're protesting the death of Jacob Blake, a guy that had open arrest warrants for sexual assault, for domestic violence. Shows back up at the same address, fights with cops, goes to his car, tries to grab a weapon, and then gets shot by the cops, and now everyone is rallying behind this guy who is a complete violent criminal. Like, to me, it's absolutely mind blowing. I mean, what are your thoughts on that?
For me personally, if America was that racist and we're killing everybody and black people couldn't make it successfully, LeBron wouldn't be the LeBron that he is right now. You know what I mean? So it's like for him to be in that position and say that Americans or black Americans are being shot at that kind of rate is I do not believe that, basically. But with Jones Blake's, or whatever his name is, with Jacob Blake, yeah. Jacob Blake's situation, I feel like he has to I don't know how to put it.
Maybe some self-responsibility. It's like you have to at least show the smallest amount of effort to comply with the police. It's like, okay, well, had you not fought with police, had you not continued to as you have 3 cops drawing guns on you, you would think, okay, well, maybe now is a time to just say, okay, like, tell me what to do, handcuff me, take me to jail. You were obviously committing a crime. And then there is this whole outrage about, oh my God, the cop shot him in front of his kids. The guy shows up to commit a crime. The guy showed up to commit a crime with his kids in the car.
I don't know how hard. I don't know why some black people think that they don't have to comply to the police. And some of them act like they are above the law. No matter what you do, whether you're a criminal, there is no other chance but for you to just comply, so you get arrested and be sent to wherever you have to be sent to. I had someone, I was arguing with someone, and they were like, he was not going to get a gun. He was going to check up on his kids. And also, there's a place and a time for everything. And even if it was true that you were going to check on your kids, was that the right time for you to do that? How wrong is it? How hard is it for you to just say, for you to just comply with the police? Why does someone always have to get shot when it comes to white people, a white police officer and a black man? How hard is it for you? Is it for you to comply? And most Democrats say that, nobody is above the law. Right, and they were even trying to impeach President Trump because they thought that he was acting like he was above the law. But then they turn around and also support and justify people that act like they are above the law. Because if you are not trying to comply with authority, that basically means that you are not willing to follow what the law tells you to do, basically. And that is something that I feel like, in as much as we talk about police brutality, I feel like we also have to tell or to create the awareness that black people need to most black men or some black men need to comply with the police. If you feel like you were arrested unjustly, right, all you can do is just fight it through the court system.
Yeah, and you can win a big lawsuit. That's how you make millions of dollars.
Exactly. I don't know why you have to risk your life on the street just because you feel like, just because you feel like you were not treated the right way, or you were not you didn't deserve that kind of treatment that you were supposed to have. All of these things. And I feel like that is the reason why most black people are getting shot, just because they are not willing to comply, just because they feel like they are above the law and they don't have to comply to the police. That is a problem.
I mean, I absolutely agree. And it's like, I think Black Lives Matter, it's like their narrative gets really exposed that there's only 2 racial boxes that need to be checked. They don't care about any details at all. They don't care about any of the actual circumstances surrounding the shooting. It doesn't matter if the guy existed. It doesn't matter if the guy was ignoring police commands. You had a case, I forget what state it was in, but it wasn't too long ago. There was a guy named Hakeem Littleton. I don't know if you're familiar with this, but he shot a police officer, pulls out a gun, shoots at the police officer. The officer shoots back, kills him, and Shortly afterward, you have people marching, crowds of people marching down the street. Say his name, say his name. Like, what do you mean say his name? The guy shot a gun at police. Like, what did you think was going to happen? Do you think the police looked, oh God, that guy's black? Like, I don't think it mattered. Does anyone think that if a white guy shot at police that he wasn't going to be killed too? It's mind blowing. And what it does is it emboldens and enables criminals when they see this, when they see these people that are fighting with cops. And then you have people like LeBron James. You got someone with a huge platform, 40 million Twitter followers supporting this guy, talking about, I want to boycott the season. I don't want to show up to the NBA playoffs. Why? Because I want to defend a guy who was a rapist that fights with police. Like, is that really what they wanted to be known for? Defending people that rape women, fight with police, go back, harass the same woman that he was charged against with domestic violence against? I mean, I think it's unbelievable that we have the worst idols. We have the most toxic, poisonous messages coming out of people with the biggest platforms that are broadcasting the loudest voices, and they're poisoning the minds of black people all over this country, and they're causing racial tensions that are completely unneeded.
The thing is, I don't actually understand why you cannot be pro-black and support and justify people that terrorize the black community. You know, we have criminals that are killing other black men. We have criminals that are shooting children, that are terrorizing women. So are you trying to tell me that these people don't matter, right? And that we are now justifying these behaviors just because of his skin color? I don't care whether you black, white, Hispanic. If you're a criminal and you are a threat to your community, you have to be arrested. You have to, and I don't even care if you have to get shot in that process. Like, how hard is it for you to just comply even after everything that you've done to the black community? And many people like, because he's a criminal, he doesn't deserve that. But those people that he shot, those people that he murdered deserve that kind of death, right? Right? It's like we claim that we are so pro-black and we claim that we love and support the black community, but yet still we justify and we support people that deem as a threat to the black society. You know what I mean? So you cannot be pro-black and also support criminals that serve or that kill black people in the process. And I'm not saying that these criminals have to be shot or do whatever. What I'm saying is, even if those criminals have to, if they get arrested, they should have a form of personal accountability. You know, you don't have to act like you are above the law, and because you don't want to get arrested that day, you should not comply. No, whether you are above the law, whether you are a criminal and you don't feel like getting arrested, whether you act like you don't want to get arrested, or whether you feel like you want treated unfairly, you are not above the law. You have to comply. You have to show respect to the authority, because the police officer is also a person behind the badge. He's a person. He's someone's father. He's someone's son. He's someone's, husband. So in as much, even aside being the police officer, it just shows a form of respect. You know what I mean? It's just a form of respect, just with you complying to the authority. And if you feel like you are arrested unfairly, you could fight it through the court system. Why do we educate black men to fight the police and not comply, but not willing to fight it through the court system? That is how we get most black men shot. So in as much as we preach police brutality, we should teach black men to comply. And I believe that 80% of all police brutality cases will be solved. Because looting, burning down businesses, killing other people in the process is only making the problem worse. So if it's not helping the problem, after George Floyd, they did the same thing, looted, killed, other black people died in the process, and still Eric, whatever his name, died in the process. And now we have Jacob Blake. So that means the looting and the rioting and the protesting is not solving the problem. So then we have to create another alternative. What about we tell black people to comply to the authorities? And let's see how that is going to change. I believe that 80% of most police brutality cases are going to be solved by that initiative.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I mean, self-responsibility, I think, would go a long way. But, I mean, don't let facts get in the way of starting a race war. You can't bring any of these things up. You can't bring up black-on-black crime. You can't bring up the fact that these people had extensive criminal records previously. If you do, then you're a racist. And you can't bring up the fact that they're resisting arrest. They weren't complying with officers' orders. In some cases, they're physically fighting with officers. In the Rayshard Brooks case, the guy actually reached for the cop's taser and tried to use it against him. He punched the officer in the face. It's like, what more can you do when it's like you would think these people are doing everything in their power to get shot at certain points.
I feel like most people, some of these things are just suicide that the police officers just help them with. Some of these people just, they don't care about the consequences of their actions, and sometimes when you watch these cases, you will see that the police officers really try their best, right? They are trying not to, not to use the gun, but these people give the police officers a reason why they should use the gun, basically. Like you would not expect to punch a police officer, take his taser, punch him, run away with it, and expect to turn around and use that gun, that the taser that you used, right, on the police officer and expect not to get shot, right? Police officers also have a life too. So in as much as we expect not to get shot or whatever, we have to take responsibility of our actions, right? If you really do respect your life, I don't care if I get pulled over by the police, I am complying. I don't care how I feel at that time or at that moment. I am doing whatever I need to do to comply, because why? I respect my life and I take personal responsibilities for my actions.